Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. As you can clearly hear, I am still sick. I'm doing a lot better today. Um, I still have a nasty, nasty upper respiratory infection. I'm doing the best I can with the guys. Somebody left me a comment yesterday, Tina. Thank you so much. To suggesting tea with orange slice and lemon and lime, and I did. I took that as well. I am going to mention, ironically, I ordered grounding sheets. If you guys are interested, check them out online. They happened to show up yesterday. I used them last night, and I will say, I woke up this morning feeling so much better. Not just from my sickness, but my mobility. Even just one night using my grounding sheets, like my joint pain was dramatically decreased, and I'm excited to sleep on them again tonight. But that's just to throw that out there. Yeah, I mean, guys, I'm sick. I feel better today. I did go to work today. I took it as easy as possible, but I had some commitments I needed to take care of, so I did. And we'll talk more about that. I'm going to get into the reading, guys. I really like the reading today. It's about my life today, a spiritual awakening, right? So, spiritual awakenings. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, how will I know when I've had a spiritual awakening? Well, for many of us, a spiritual awakening comes gradually. Perhaps our first is as simple as a new appreciation for life. Maybe one day we will suddenly discover the sound of birds singing early in the morning. The simple beauty of a flower may remind us that there is a power much greater than us at work around us. Often, our spiritual awakening is something that grows stronger over time. Certainly the case for me. We can strive for more spiritual awareness simply by living our lives. We can persist in efforts to improve our conscious contact through prayer and meditation on a daily basis. We can listen for the guidance we need. We can question other addicts about their experiences with spirituality. And we can take time to appreciate the world around us. All of these things are absolutely great examples of a spiritual awakening. And then the affirmation is just for today. I will reflect on the spiritual awakenings I have experienced. I will strive to be God conscious. I will take time out in the day to appreciate my higher power's handiwork. And guys, like seriously, go back and play that one again because these things work. And if you find that you can't do any of these things, well, then that's a pretty good basis that you need to slow down and take a look at what it is. I'm going to throw this out there, and I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm just saying, guys, sometimes we need to honestly look at what we're doing. Are we working a program, or are we working an angle? And I'm not saying that to make anybody feel bad, but I see people doing it all the time. If you are having to fight and manipulate and use the same behaviors that you used to get your drugs to get what you want in recovery, well, then you have not surrendered. You're not working a spiritual program. And again, everybody's situation is different. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not trying to make anybody feel better. I'm trying to give you honest advice on what I see, and it's it typically goes hand in hand, guys. And I know why you're walking the situation. It's not always easy to see. But for those of us on the outside looking in, it's as obvious as the day is long. The people that are struggling are typically because they're taking their will. I mean, guys, we're all gonna have hard days and easy days, and that's just part of life, and that's fine. But when you're when you're working to create conscious contact with your higher power, and you seek knowledge of His will for you and the power to carry that out, you're gonna find the strength and the direction needed to overcome your challenges. And again, it doesn't mean you're not going to face challenges, but you're going to be able to deal with them. And when you're finding it's constantly one thing after the other, and you can't catch a break, and suddenly you're trying to beg, borrow, and steal, and everybody's against you. Well, it's because the people that care about you see what you're doing, and they're not on board with it. Like, you're not working a program. That's not the whole point of recovery. Is learning to live a life that works, that you get to be a part of. You get to be a part of a community, and it's been so beautiful for me over this last week. With me getting my 1 year and the 1 year of this channel, starting fresh with the New Year's, and these are things I never considered. But again, as I progress, my spiritual awakening grows. I now see how many different factors came to play, like how many different stars aligned so that I could be walking the path that I'm walking right now in every single way, shape, or form. It goes back to me surrendering and turning my will over to God, and God is just showing me from 700 different directions how I'm on the right track, and that my surrender is working. And again, I believe it's because I've offered my life to God in service of recovery. Like, this is my experience. This is what I have the most knowledge of. And this is what I want to fight, because it's where I've suffered, and I want to help other people in that area. So as I've made that commitment, and I've made recovery first, and I've taken the suggestions, and I've walked these steps every day in my life, the rewards are boundless. And it's why I'm constantly pulled aside and singled out in a good way to let me know that, like, really, you stand out. And it's funny, guys, look, I hear constantly, you stand out in every crowd for your recovery. You've got one of the best recovery programs I see. And it goes right back to day one. My very first video, or maybe first or second video, I said one of the downloads I got from God is to do everything I can so that I can stand out in every situation for a good reason. And that's something I promised myself, okay, I'm going to make this effort. Didn't happen overnight, but I continued to do it day in and day out. And now here I am, just 1 year in, guys. This is just the beginning. This is just the foundation for what's to come. And again, I'm calling it out again. I can't wait to see where we are this time next year, because it's going to be mind-blowing. Because I'm not resting on my laurels. I'm digging in deeper. I was talking to my brothers earlier today, and I'm like, it's beautiful. I've been keeping in touch with my recovery network all year. But I've noticed over this last month and a half how much it's grown, and how much of it is newcomers seeking guidance and asking me, and hey, can I run this by you? Hey, what do you think of this? Hey, what would you do? How did you? And like, that's amazing to me. And again, that's just God showing me that I'm on the right path, that He has accepted my commitment to Him to be of service, and He's bringing me my people. Like, He's bringing me the people that I can make a difference in their day, and that's amazing. And I'm just using this as an example to show you this is my spiritual awakening. This is one of my many spiritual awakenings, guys. This has been a year full of spiritual awakenings, and that's why, like, I'm so happy. My baseline is guys, I'm sick as a dog. I feel like death today. I felt like death for 3 days. My head is pounding. My voice is terrible. I got a raspy cough. I got so much sinus pressure and a pounding headache. Yet I'm happy. Like, I accept that and said, okay, you know why? Because this too shall pass. This is just an experience. Like, I have not come through this yet, so I don't know if there's a lesson in this. I mean, I suspect maybe I should be more careful in crowds, and that's actually a good point. That's probably it. I know it's winter time. I know people are dealing with the flu, and I go to 2 celebrations and don't use any hand sanitizer, don't wear a mask, and boom, I end up sick. Okay. Now, I don't have a problem with that, because again, this is just my personal belief. I believe that part of what keeps our immune system strong is being acclimated to viruses and colds and things of this nature. This one is clearly a good one, because typically I don't have then again, maybe this is a bad flu, but I'm so healthy that these days that I'm not running a fever, and I am fighting it better. And maybe it's a new version of COVID, but again, I've had COVID so many times, I'm fighting it off well. I don't know yet. It's too early to tell. But just the fact that my mind is paying attention to these things shows me that that's where I'm at in life. I'm looking for the signs and synchronicities. I'm looking for the lesson to be learned in everything. I'm looking for ways to not repeat something I didn't enjoy, and looking for ways to better myself, and then have lessons to share with other people along the way. Like, that's amazing. Spiritual awakening right there. Guys, I can turn being sick and having a cold into a spiritual awakening. Do you understand what I'm saying here? There is a reason things are going this so well in my life today, because this is how I live. It's not how I get on video and share. No, this is how I live. And it's why I stand out in every crowd, and it's why I'm being accepted everywhere, and I'm being celebrated everywhere. It's why my business is thriving. Guys, I get up this morning, and again, I did not go to the gym today, obviously. As a matter of fact, I've got a pulled muscle in my back from coughing yesterday. That's how bad the upper respiratory infection I have is, and that's fine. I'm just taking it easy. And again, Even a year ago, I'd be all bummed out. Oh, I can't go to the gym for a few days. No, I understand now that these are signs that I need to slow down. I've been pushing really, really hard in the gym because I'm seeing gains I've never seen before. So I'm pushing myself hard because I enjoy it and I try to pay attention. But clearly, this is a sign that my body needed to take a break because it wasn't able to fight off the cold. I was pushing myself really hard. I've got a lot of responsibilities. I'm taking on a lot of commitments, and that's okay. But it's a perfect example for me to sit back and slow down and not get mad at God and why are you punishing me? And say, no, God, I see. There is a message here. Slow down. Take some time to rest. So I didn't go to the gym. I stayed in bed for that extra hour. I'd normally go to the gym, and then I get up and I handle a couple of commitments that I had that I needed to take care of. Made really good money for the day. And I will say this. I get a text message and a phone call yesterday from a friend of mine in the program. David will probably watch the video. He's over in Cambridge. Him and his mom have a house over there, and they had a problem with the hot water in the shower. Now, I know from my experience immediately, if you have hot water, and this is a message for anybody really, if you have hot water in the bathroom sink and in the kitchen, and you don't have hot water in the shower, it's the stem, the mixing valve of the shower valve itself. And I had him send me pictures of it, and I recognized the brand, Simmons, very common. And I said, sure, well, let me know if you want me to take care of it. I said, I understand, and his concern was he's new to recovery. Would his mother trust his judgment to use his guy? And we discussed that about 6 weeks ago when he had another issue at the house, and he didn't even want to bring it to her because he knew she wouldn't do it. And I told him, I said, listen, it's okay. Keep doing the right thing. That'll change. That's one of the things we all have to accept early in recovery. When we've worked angles for so long, it takes time before anybody wants to take our advice on something. Like, just don't force it down anybody's throat and don't get mad at her or anything else. Just acceptance. That's part of acceptance. And just work your program and that will change. And sure, here it is 6 weeks later. When he mentioned to his mother, he ended up calling me, texting me right back and saying, yeah, hey, if you can come by tomorrow, that'd be great. She'd love to have you fix it. So I did. I went by, picked up the part ahead of time, and then sure enough, it was in there so long. There was a secondary issue when we put the new stem in. It was leaking because it was a seal that was very old inside the housing. Fortunately, I had some O-rings on the truck. I dug for those, found the seal, popped it in. Me and David had a good time catching up and just, explaining to him, showing him what I was doing, and fixed it in no time. I was in and out of there in probably, I don't even know, half an hour, 45 minutes. And I gave, and again, it's a new customer. I always like to give somebody a good price on the first one. But being that he's through the program, he's up and coming, I made sure I gave him a really good price. And again, I wanted his mother to see that he's making good decisions, and I wanted to extend that courtesy. And I can do that today. I still got made good money, and lo and behold, his elderly mother on a fixed income gives me a $50 tip. Like I keep saying, guys, I'm the only contractor I know that gets tips like this. But that's beautiful. And you know what? And I text him back, and I'm like, David, make sure you take note of the fact that, remember 6 weeks ago, you're like, oh, she'll never take my advice. That's progress, man. Celebrate your wins. And I made sure I tried to help him out with that. And, these are the things, guys. I would never consider any of that. Oh, it's just another customer. Let me go make some quick money. No, I don't have to live that way, guys. And because I don't making that quick dollar my focus, I'm making so much more money than I ever thought possible. I went and spent 2 hours finishing up a job I started on Friday before I went to my meeting, in between my meetings. And, yeah, we don't even go there, but made some serious money on that. It was a good day. And I was home by 2 o'clock. Not taxing myself, not pushing myself. I did one other job for one of the places that I'm contracted, and it was a shower clog. And again, it was first thing. That was the first one this morning. And I'm glad I tackled that because it was way more than normally would be involved. But again, got it done, had a good time doing it, walked away not saying, oh my God, that was ridiculous. Why was it so tough? No, I said, well, you know what? That's the most involved. As far as the shower drain, it was an inverted drum trap. It's just very technical. But first time I've seen it, and I very quickly acknowledged it, diagnosed it, and knew exactly how to fix it and did so. And I think it was like an hour and a half. And, even with the cloudiness in my head, spiritual awakening, God is redeeming me. God is restoring me because I'm paying attention. 1444, as I said, I love that. Because I'm paying attention. And it's so nice to be able to take the lessons that I learn on a daily basis and keep them in my pocket and refer to them every day as I encounter other situations every day. I used to have to learn the same thing over and over again because my brain was just so addled with drugs that half the time I didn't, I thought I was on the ball. But then somebody would be tapping me in the shoulder going, hey, you're asleep with a jackhammer in your hand. And that happened, guys. I was a dangerous person to be around. And again, I see that now. Instead of going, oh, what a piece. No, I'm amazed that God kept me as safe as he did because I put myself in some very dangerous situations. I never hurt anybody. I never got hurt. Like, I never get in over my head, no matter how deep the water was that I dove into. God kept it from ever getting over my head. Like, it wasn't me. Clearly somebody did, because here I am with the culmination of everything I've been through, unfazed, and just growing and expanding in the most beautiful ways. And I love the fact, again, I said it yesterday, like, I'm so, or maybe it was Saturdays, either way, it's all starting to blur together. I'm sick. It's beautiful to me today that I've spent the last 3 days physically miserable because I'm sick as a dog. And I'm doing everything, guys. I'm doing Dayquil, Mucinex, Dayquil daytime, Mucinex nighttime. Drinking my tea with lemon and lime and orange slice. I'm doing honey. I'm doing garlic. Like, I'm doing vitamin C. I do my daily vitamin. I'm drinking plenty of non-dyed fluids, Pedialyte. Like, I'm doing everything I can. And again, I do feel better, but it's obviously, you can hear it. I mean, it's brutal. My head's pounding. My sinuses are vicious. This is one hell of a whatever I have. And if it's not better by tomorrow, then maybe I'll consider making an appointment and going to my doctor's and getting checked for COVID or whatever. But the other part of that is I've been asked, I got a text yesterday, and the Tuesday chair of my daily AA meeting is not available. So I stepped up and said I'll be happy to do that. Now, I was expecting it because normally I'm sick for 2 days max, and that's the most. And clearly I'm still sick, so tomorrow I will go. My friend Mo also offered to do so. I'll give her the opportunity, but I'm still going to go, and I will wear a mask, and I wear gloves, and I will have hand sanitizer, and I will keep my distance because I don't want to get anybody else sick. But I can still find a way to honor my commitments. Boom, spiritual awakening. Guys, spiritual awakenings don't have to be these big, giant light bulb moments. They can happen multiple times every single day. And it doesn't have to. But the more you dive in and the more you work an honest program to the best of your ability, the more you will see the spiritual awakenings in every which way and shape and form. And it is absolutely beautiful. It's what keeps me so bought in. It is why I've made recovery number one in my life. And it's why my life, therefore, is starting to take shape in ways I can't even see coming, but I know they just step up and blow my mind regularly. It's so just gratifying to me that all these promises I made on video that I got as downloads as the promises of this program, the promises from my higher power God, have come to fruition in ways, and I even said it'll blow my mind, and it has blown my mind because even my limited thinking couldn't even begin to imagine what was going to happen. And not one of it looks like the way I would have thought. What I thought mattered back then doesn't even matter because I keep everything open-ended because I know I don't have all the answers. So I learn every single day, and it is absolutely beautiful. Guys, you can literally live in a spiritual existence and experience spiritual awakenings so much more often. And again, it's the little ones that stack up that make all the difference, just like most things in life. Guys, I'm going to leave it at that before I start rambling. I'm pretty sick. My voice is going out. I'm going to continue taking care of myself as best I can. But as you all know, I love you. God loves you. I will see you tomorrow for the next one. Thank you.